Almost 2 million people in Germany could have been infected by coronavirus, according to a shock new study. Researchers have claimed more than 10 times as many people in the country than first thought have likely caught the deadly disease. Angela Merkel's government has only confirmed a total of 166,152 confirmed cases since the beginning of the outbreak. The team from the University of Bonn said there was potential for huge amounts of carriers not to have displayed any symptoms but still pose an infection risk to others. Their report comes as Germany prepares to ease its lockdown, with museums, hairdressers, churches and more car factories beginning to reopen. It found 1 in 5 of those who had been infected with coronavirus reported no symptoms. The scientists analyzed blood and nasal swabs from a sample of 919 people living in the town of Gangelt in the western region of Heinsberg, where people were infected in February while visiting a carnival. The hard-hit district has been described as Germany's Wuhan and was considered ground zero of the country's outbreak. The research was led by virologist Hendrik Streeck after his initial study was criticized. Professor Streeck said, "Whatever conclusions are pulled from the results of the study depends on many factors. The evaluation of the findings and the conclusions for concrete decisions are the role of society and politics." Dr. Martin Exner, head of Bonn's Institute for Hygiene and Public Health, who co-authored the study, said, "Apparently, 1 in 5 infections occurs without noticeable symptoms, suggesting that infected persons who secrete virus and can infect others cannot be reliably identified on the basis of recognizable symptoms of the disease. Every supposedly healthy person we encounter can unknowingly carry the virus. We must be aware of this and act accordingly." Researchers arrived at their estimate by putting the town's number of known coronavirus deaths relative to the largest estimate of local people with previous infections and applied the rate of 0.37% to country-wide deaths. Professor Gunther Hartmann said, "The results can help to further improve the models to calculate how the virus spreads. So far the underlying data has been relatively weak. Just over 900 people from 404 different households were tested as part of the study. The results showed around 15% testing positive for coronavirus, a figure 5 times higher than the nationally reported rate. It also found that 22% of all infections people did not display any symptoms, including fevers and coughs. The findings are in line with similar studies in China and South Korea, where around a fifth of those infected reportedly do not realize they are carrying the disease." Armin Laschet, Minister-President of North Rhine-Westphalia, said the University of Bonn's study is important in the future debate over the coronavirus. He said, "Streeck's assumption that we have a high number of unreported cases has now been scientifically verified.